Young people are really attracted to the show because it gives them something complicated and honest to play. So I think for people who are in the show, it's a really, really fulfilling opportunity to authentically be young, but bite into tougher material and give them something to really work with as actors.
Bees fight, bees sting, watch them die, and you can't do a thing. They won't come back.
I also think that we wrote it, for us, like we talked about a show that we want to see, but it's relatively accessible. These themes that are complicated, they're told in a way that I don't think the music is not something that puts people off, but sort of brings audiences in. And it's a way to sort of examine youth and the sort of optimistic culture at the time, and misogyny and beauty and all of these things, but in a way that is relatively accessible for your audience as well.
The show isn't about pizzazz. The show is about trying to communicate honest feelings and watching people work through these feelings that they don't necessarily understand. So it's not a show you have to hit super hard. It's a show you want to sort of breathe in and let it come out of you easily and naturally, and not try to force anything.
There are a lot of fun shows to do out there that are all light and that are all musical comedy, and I love doing those shows and those are fun too, but I'm just so pleasantly surprised that so many young people want to really dig into these characters who are a little more complicated and not necessarily dark, but it just shows a little bit edgier side of humanity and of being a young person. And I'm just really happy that people, especially young people, are identifying with those characters and wanting to play those roles and live in that world for a little while.
Ultimately, the heavier stuff that Justin's talking about are all things that young people relate to.
I'm picking a pinch. What a girl for this party. You waltz her in, you're set open once you twirl her around. She'll be a smash, snorting some cash. Off to a party with you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, holy cow, what to wear in your hair, what a mess, pick a dress, oh my gosh, are you mourning a death, take a breath, but look, I mistook you for butternut squash. Oh my gosh. Okay, keep it soft, keep it bright, be a girl, something pink, don't you think, just a touch, not too much, he likes me, just be you, he won't care what you wear, I don't know, should I go with the pink or the blue? What you do for someone who is nothing short of wonderful, nothing short of wonderful.
And we talked about this constantly when we were writing it, that like everybody has a little bit of Rose in them. Everybody has experienced that feeling of not being a part of the in crowd, or not feeling as good, or feeling less than. And that's something I think, especially when you're young, when you're a teenager, when you're that you're dealing with this as you're coming of age.
Everyone has been a bully. Everyone, at a time. It doesn't matter who you are, what your situation is, whether you're fighting back against another bully or you're being one yourself. Everyone has had that instinct to do something that hurts another human being, and then you want to take a moment that's like, why did I do that? Why did Eddie do that thing?
And something that also I think is kind of cool is we wrote it, being born at a certain time, but for our parents' generation, it really, really resonates with them, particularly because it's set in 1963. The majority of the show is set in 1963. So
on the eve of the Kennedy assassination.
The Kennedy assassination. So it's this time when America was changing. So it not only it's this sort of look historically at what America was and where it was going, but it also brings back memories for a lot of people of a different generation. So I think it has this there's this dual resonance, for different generations.
I think it's just important to continue to let audiences know that there are new shows that can still feel American and classic in certain ways, and traditional musical theater in certain ways, but just hopefully introducing new music, new dialogue, new forms of writing. I just think that's an exciting thing. It still feels like I think in many ways a traditional musical, but it's new writing, and I think it's important for people to support and to expose audiences to.